Hello again and welcome everyone. I am his most awesomest KnightTrain, casting an epic and legendary and an unseen Game 3 for the Doublerobo and KnightTrain combo. And with me as always is the Bane to my Ling.
The Robo so nice they named him twice. Doublerobo here casting on Nerazum Crypts. We're going to start with the Orange Terran, winner of Game 2. We've got BeastyQt.
Yes, very good win by him, by the way.
Yeah, that was a really good, just solid push that he did there at the end of that game. Really well played. And on the right side, with a great counterattack in Game 1 to win, we've got the Purple Zerg, Brain, who, if you're watching Game 3 without watching 1 or 2, I really don't know what you're doing. But in case you didn't hear this, Brain is credited as MoMan in the replay. So this is probably 98% likely the Zerg player from Europe, MoMan.
Yes, yes. So here we are, Nezarim Crypt. We're on, side positions here. This Overlord, if he's paying attention, is going to come up, see this supply depot and barracks and all that, and then, probably quickly dart away, though he may just bonsai his way all the way to the command center to check for gases and things like that. But this is a pretty good map. Both of these players, they're naturals. The Terran's natural pretty close to the Zerg there. He's going to have to make sure he's very, very careful to wall this up, keep those rocks up as long as possible. Other than that, they have this whole top side here to be expanding to. So I would not be surprised to see a fairly long game here.
Yeah, this map, any four-player map where you've got these players that are really close, and by the way, he did not see the Overlord there, so I was looking at both players' visions. So again, Brain getting the quick scout on Beastie there, and Beastie's going to have to scout all the way around the map to see where he is, which is so critical to let Zergs get up that expansion.
Right, right.
But anyway, yeah, back to what you were talking about. This is a great map where the Zerg can expand to this top. It kind of reminds me of Metalopolis, the way that it tends to play out, where you've got the ability for both players to expand away from their opponent, and then really just this middle ground becomes contested. Another thing about this map, though, is that your main base is really, really big, which is great for Zerg. If they're doing some sort of attack, you can surround easily, and have a lot of space to maneuver inside of your base, space in your base. But it can also mean something like it's easy to hide units, it's easy to,
hide tech.
Hide tech, be able to kind of trick out the other player. So we'll see if that comes into
this
play
Marine
here.
actually playing the SEV scouting role right now, going to come in, see this hatchery. I don't know, he is bringing an SEV and another Marine while throwing in a factory, so he may see an opportunity here. The spawning pool is up. The drones, excuse me, are coming out. I think he does see a chance to do, blocking the bunker
Nice
there.
block.
And actually, if he's really clever, he can sneak a Marine into that corner, or both Marines. And this is going to make, he didn't quite get the lock off there, but actually, you can hide your little Marines right there in the corner. It makes it very hard for Zerglings to get surrounds and things like that. I do believe this bunker is going to go up. I don't think it's in range actually to hit the hatchery, so this is just going to kind of put some ever foreboding pressure on the Zerg. And it is worth noting that the Terran player, not really expecting to do a lot of damage to this. We see an expansion, as well as reactor Hellions to follow this up.
Yeah, so he's not going to do a lot of damage, but this is a lot better than the last two games. We saw Brain bring down a ton of drones, and he didn't do the same thing in this game, kind of calling his bluff there.
Right.
BC's like, well, if you're not going to attack me, then I'm just going to harass you and do some damage. He's definitely not going to kill with this. He's not going to kill a lot of drones with this. But he is delaying mining time. He made him build that spine crawler, and he's going to make him build more lings than he wants to. So.
Right. Well, actually salvaging the bunker there. I mean, the big issue with that bunker is that it wasn't in range to hit anything. You know what I mean? So usually if you're going to do a bunker rush, you need to get it before the creep spreads so that you can, get that bunker in range of the hatchery. Otherwise, it's just kind of dead space, and whenever, the Zerg feels like moving out, they're going to move out. Since there's no real pressure. It is worth noting that SCV ran in there, saw the gas, however, did not see the pretty quick Roach Warren. So that actually may definitely work into Brain's favor and Beastie's not favor.
Yeah, Brain making 7 roaches at the moment right now, and Stim is not done, and he's only got reactor Hellions.
I know Hellions are not going to do a lot against these roaches at all.
He does have one Marauder in that bunker, which is important to point out. One Marauder just does surprisingly well against roaches if it's in a bunker like that.
Right, right. Yeah, this is pretty tricky. I mean, we see really all Brain has been making the last minute or so of game time is military units. We are very, very quickly bordering on all-inishness.
Yeah, he doesn't even have speed yet.
Yeah, this is actually a roach all-in.
He definitely doesn't have speed now with those roaches
Yeah,
getting
and
or sorry,
yeah,
those links.
the Hellions going to see those roaches. That was actually pivotal. They're going to sneak by here, try and do some drone damage. This is going to be really, really tricky. He's pulling a lot of SCVs to get ready to pair this bunker.
Yeah, he's really going to have to be preemptive on this. I like that he's pulling the SCVs. Here come the roaches. They're going to be able to get up the ramp here, but that Marauder doing so much damage to the roaches already and not target firing. Now they're target firing onto the supply depot. He's got SCVs behind it, but I really don't think he's pulling back. He's not going to be able to do any damage to this. So Brain being really smart, pulling back.
Wow. And there it is. He realized...
That's game,
wow. Wow, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to... I guess we should be rude at Brain for cutting you off like that.
So I guess Brain is actually the American player Idra, and I'm really glad that he gave us such a great game there.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he lost quite a few. We can see he lost 8 drones there as those Hellions ran in. The Hellions didn't do a terribly large amount of damage. However, he was left with about 8 drones. And as I was saying, you know, he was kind of very quickly bordering on all-inishness with that roach attack. And I don't know. I think he definitely could have handled it better. Yeah, the Marauder was doing a whole lot of damage. However, he didn't do a lot to get those roaches kind of in range. He just kind of A-moved them up there. So he had like the 2 that could hit something, hitting the supply depot, and the rest of them just kind of flailing and chilling in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just really, really weird attack timing by Brain. He saw those roaches running in, or excuse me, the Hellions running in, and instead of bringing his roaches back to defend, as those are the natural defense against Hellions like that, just deciding to go for it, and I don't know. That was just really bizarre decision-making. If you look at his larva, by the way, he's got 4, 8, 9 larvae at his expansion, and 7 larvae at his main. So he's got a lot of larvae piled up and no resources. Just not really the best economy management there. If you're going to do a rush like that, you've got to have it timed out so that you're using every larva, every second, every minerals you can use.
Right, right. And I mean, I guess it was kind of a questionable decision. I mean, that was definitely really an all-in. And if you're kind of unfamiliar, Zerg in general, just because of the way that the race plays, wants to be building as many drones for as long as possible. You'll note that most pro players will, you know, kind of do as much. They'll lay out creep, they'll watch watchtowers so that when they see an attack coming, they can kind of plan accordingly. You don't want to be building up units the whole time because every unit that you make is not a drone. So it's much more efficient to just make as many drones as possible, get a huge economy, and then start producing, you know, fighting units when you have a very large economy, multiple bases to support it. When you see a Zerg player, at least a pro player, making a whole lot of roaches and Zerglings very early like that, they're basically going an all-in, because if they lose, like Brain did, then they basically have no economy to compete unless they did a serious amount of damage.
Yeah, really good point there.
So, wow, I mean, that was kind of a lackluster Game 3.
Yeah, and the 2.1 game curse continues for
I know,
Doublerobo and KnightTrain.
I think it would have been really cool if he had made that Roach Rush work. However, I think he kind of botched the beginning of it, lost all those Zerglings to those Hellions when he shouldn't have, and it just... Well, next time,
that was almost a Protoss type rush. That was almost the kind of rush you see Zergs do against a toss that fast expands with a cannon or something.
Right. That's actually a very good point. So, well, good game by both these players.